Elon Musk sues Unilever and Mars over X boycott? Good luck. In what world does this, like, you're going to force them to advertise on your platform? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Maybe there's something in there. Elon Musk's X/Twitter is suing a group of advertisers and major companies, accusing them of unlawfully agreeing to boycott the site. Yeah, can someone give me the clip of Elon Musk saying, like, off to the advertisers? Can someone get me that clip real quick while I read this? It has filed a claim against the food giants Unilever and Mars, private healthcare company CVS Health, and renewable energy firm Ørsted, along with a trade association called the World Federation of Advertisers, in a Texas court. They have deprived it of billions of dollars in revenue. They don't want to be associated with your site. It takes me like, I can't scroll on Twitter for more than like 3 minutes without seeing some weird Nazi meme. And I don't follow these accounts, but they're boosted. They're boosted into things. They're boosted into your timeline. That's why people don't want to be on your site.
Stop. You hope, don't. I hope they stop. You hope, don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself.
But
go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
Don't advertise. You're not advertising. You're causing me $1 billion in revenue. Like, then do you not realize that the entire platform of social media, like the entire reason that social media companies make money is by advertising, because they're all free. Now you've made a paid subscription service to yours, and that's probably bringing in some revenue, because I see a lot of blue check marks. But my guy, you can't force someone to advertise. Like, can you imagine? There's a guy with a billboard, right? And at the top of that billboard, he has like I don't know how to describe this without painting it, okay? Let's say some guy has a billboard, all right? And on this billboard, you know, we got the billboard, and then we got the little legs that go down and hold up the billboard, right? Usually you got some little lights on the bottom to illuminate the advertisement. But let's say that this guy just had a big ol' iron swastika on top. Now, I'm not going to make a swastika, obviously, but say he has like a German Reich, you know, shit up here on his billboard, and it just always says, sorry, like someone has this as their billboard. Do you think that they could sue the community for not advertising on the billboard that has the wrought iron swastika on the top? No, you can't sue someone for something like that, because your product, your placement of that product makes you look bad if you advertise. Like, imagine this all goes away, and there's some like beauty thing there. Now there's a swastika on top. That place loses money, gains controversy, et cetera, et cetera. You can't force someone to advertise on your platform. You can't do that. But maybe there's something that he thinks that he can do here. Let's keep on reading. Oh, 1 second. We just lost a massive lawsuit to defend free speech. We are going after advertisers who illegally conspired to try to put X out of business. Legal experts say the case is unlikely to succeed, as any collusion or agreement between companies will be hard to prove. The lawsuit relates to the period in 2022, just after Mr. Musk bought X. Also, by the way, this clip right here is going to be played in court. The lawsuit relates to the period in 2022 just after Mr. Musk bought X, then known as Twitter, when advertising revenue dived. Some companies had been wary of advertising on the platform as concerns rose that its new owner was not serious enough about removing harmful online content. In the year after Mr. Musk bought what was formerly Twitter, advertising revenue slumped by more than half. Jesus Christ. X chief executive Linda Yaccarino, I don't know. People are hurt when the marketplace of ideas is constricted. No small group of people should monopolize what gets monetized. What is the remedy that they're seeking? We tried being nice for 2 years.
Go f yourself.
We tried being nice for 2 years and got nothing but empty words. Now it's war. Oh no, you might encounter content that you don't like. Well, guess what? This doesn't have to do with like that you don't like. It's what the advertisers don't want their advertisement right next to like some Nazi meme, right? Again, damn, I already closed out the paint tab, didn't I? Again, if there was a billboard on the side of the road that had a wrought iron swastika on top, they couldn't sue the community and all the small businesses in the community for not advertising on their billboard because of freedom of speech. Because it is their freedom of speech to not have their product associated with a negative thing. Now, you might not like that, but if Twitter wants to keep going the direction that they're going, then they have to make some changes. Now, they don't have to make changes that bow to the advertisers. They can try and monetize X in some other way. I'm not complaining about X having Hinkle or Libs of TikTok on there because of the advertisers. I'm complaining about having Hinkle on there because he's annoying and weird. And Libs of TikTok, I don't think that they should be on there because they break the rules on Twitter all the time with no repercussions. Like doxing people on a regular basis, on a like near daily basis. They dox the out of people. So yeah, those are the reasons I don't want them on there. But in terms of like just like the things that they say, no, they have the right to be there. 1 second. Yeah, go type cisgender into Twitter and then complain about censoring. I know. Like I feel like I saw like 3 tweets in a row today of separate people commenting on people like, this is the platform that saved freedom of speech, and if you don't like it, then you can get out. And they just comment cisgender. It's like, this might violate X's rules on hateful conduct. Cisgender, LOL, what happens? You get flagged for hate speech. Here, 1 second. Let me see if I can find an example. Well, this isn't specifically what I was thinking of because this was a while ago. Oh no, this was today. All voices are welcome on X. Indeed. And even though I hate this person, you are cisgender. Visibility limited. This post may violate X's rules against hateful conduct. And there's like post after post after post after post after post after post after post of this. And this is something that Elon Musk said that he was going to do in a tweet. So we know it's real. Is hate speech? It's a descriptor word. Okay. In the same, like, there are way more people that use trans as an insult than there are people that use cisgender as an insult. All right. But if conservatives want to be like the big tough guys that don't ever get offended by speech and never, why are we going to say cisgender is hate speech? It's stupid. Like people's elbow. Like I understand like not liking, like if you want to be one of those like cringe people that make half of their political identity around hating trans people, that's fine. And I'm not saying that you are, but like if that's something that you want to do, you have the full right to do that. And if you want to be that online, that's fine. As long as you don't break the rules on a platform, you're not going to get banned. And I would probably open it up for people to even be hateful as long as, or like use hateful language as long as they're not like directing hate at a specific person or like trying to incite violence, right? Furthest from mine on my part. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know you well enough to like say whether you do or don't. I feel like you said some weird things about trans people in chat, but whatever the case is, like you can believe whatever you want to believe and you should have the right to say whatever you want to say. But like you can't be the guy that's like, I'm here to save freedom of speech and the advertisers if they want to tell me what I can and can't put on my website that I just bought. And then like 2 years later turning around and up to and including saying, you go
money, go f yourself.
You want to be the big tough guy. You want to be the big tough guy, but then you see the direct consequences of your actions, and now you're going to try and go through the legal route to tell people that they should be forced to advertise on your platform is just stupid. Saying disagreeable things about transgender ideology and all the baggage that comes with it isn't really saying anything about the individuals. What basis is he suing on? Well, that's what we're trying to find out. Here, I'm going to stop getting stun locked by chat, but like the basis of it was they were deprived of billions of dollars in revenue. Let me see here. She said the boycott threatened the company's ability to thrive in the future. Again, like, I'm not sure how I necessarily feel. Like, what I'm about to say is the way that it is, not necessarily the way that it should be, right? But this is the way that it is. If you have a social media website and the model of that website was gaining revenue through advertisements, and then you take it over and then you completely change the character of that website, and suddenly advertisers don't want to like have their ads next to some of the content that you're now allowing. I don't think that you get to complain. You don't get to complain. You don't get to sue people. There is no winning here for Elon Musk. But let's keep on reading. I'm going to stop reading. The WFA, which was which one? The World Federation of Advertisers. The World Federation of Advertisers and the accused companies have not responded to requests for comment. Legal experts have suggested the case is unlikely to succeed. As a general rule, a politically motivated boycott is not an antitrust violation. It is protected speech under our First Amendment, said Belle Bayer, who is Assistant Attorney General for the Department of Justice's Antitrust Divisions under former U.S. President Barack Obama. Christine Bartholomew, also, how is it an antitrust issue? Let's just keep on reading. Let's see if they have a better argument. Christine Bartholomew, an antitrust expert and a professor at University at Buffalo's Law School, said X needed to show that there was an actual agreement to boycott joined by each advertiser, which she said would be no small hurdle to prove. Even if the case succeeds, the social media site cannot force companies to buy advertising space on the platform. X is seeking unspecified damages and a court order against any continued efforts to conspire to withhold advertising spending. In its lawsuit, X alleges that the accused firms unfairly withheld spending by the following safety standards set out by the WFA initiative called Global Alliance for Responsible Media, GARM. GARM's stated aim is to help the industry address the challenge of illegal or harmful content on digital media platforms and its monetization via advertising. By doing this, X claims the companies acted against their own economic self-interests in a conspiracy against the platform that breached U.S. antitrust or competition law. Professor Rebecca Allensworth of Vanderbilt University said the boycott was really trying to make a statement about X's policies and about their brands. That's protected by the First Amendment, she said. X said in its lawsuit that it has applied brand safety standards that are comparable to those of its competitors and meet or exceed those specified by GARM. I'm so curious. What are the guidelines? What are the outlines? Let me see here. In the wake of the Christchurch mosque shootings in which the killer live-streamed the attack on Facebook, this followed a slew of high-profile cases where brands' advertisements appeared next to illegal or harmful content, such as child pornography and content promoting terrorism. Think about YouTube back during the adpocalypse. Like, wasn't the big adpocalypse thing, didn't that have to do with, I think it was ISIS that was putting out recruitment messages on YouTube, and that would appear, it would appear like next to children's content and shit like that? Or am I like mixing up two different events? Antitrust is the set of laws the U.S. uses to do anti-competitive activity. Yeah. Sorry, I can't get stun locked by chat. I need to keep on reading. This included the 2017 London Times expose entitled Big Brands Fund Terror Through Online Adverts. GAR members have invested significant time, money, and resources in building reputations and brands that consumers trust. That trust suffers when ads are placed adjacent to illegal or harmful content. GARM's goal is, and always has been, to promote transparency and accountability in digital and social media, which in turn help drive media effectiveness. Individual members use GARM's resources and information about best practices to learn where their advertising investments go and to avoid placement next to illegal or harmful content that could damage their brand's reputation. It's a voluntary framework to help brands choose the content that they want their ads to appear next to. I wonder, do they have like their... Curious. We will make it easier for all participants to uphold responsible media operations by creating norms that face into technology development, categorization, and monetization of content and incident measurement. We believe that this will ultimately improve the consumer and brand experience and thereby reduce societal risk. We will enable this by our 3 strategic focus areas: establishing shared universal safety standards. I want to know what those standards are. Let's see if their charter has it. Oh, this is key resources. Let me see here. Framework. Let's see here. So these are the content categories. Debated sensitive social issue. Misinformation, terrorism, spam or harmful content, illegal drugs, tobacco, e-cigarettes, vaping, alcohol, obscenity and profanity, hate speech and acts of aggression, online piracy, death, injury, or military conflict, crime and harmful acts to individual and society, human rights violations, arms and ammunition, adult and explicit sexual content. Okay, so this is the basic framework right here. We'll keep that open while we continue reading. By doing this, X claims the companies acted against their own economic self-interests in a conspiracy against the platform. Well, this seems to be like put across like any platform. It just rates you based off of the content within your website. Rebecca Allensworth of Vanderbilt University. Oh, we already read everything, didn't we? It also said X has become a less effective competitor in the sale of digital advertising. That's because of your own actions. The video sharing company Rumble, which is favored by right-wing influencers, made similar claims in a separate lawsuit against the World Federation of Advertisers on Tuesday. Uh-oh, they're all over the place, dude. This is so stupid. All hail Lord Elon. Elon is... Listen, I thought he was cool. I thought it was cringe, but it was a little cool when there was a flamethrower that he made. That was the first time I ever heard about him. And everything has just been downhill from there. And I thought that the flamethrower itself was kind of cringe. But it's just been downhill from there. He's like, so here's again, I hate people that worship the aesthetics of a thing rather than the actual thing, right? He and Gina, who is Gina, to Disney in court too? Are they suing Twitter, or Twitter's suing Disney? For what? Gina Carano? Oh, the woman that like kept on saying crazy shit to the point where it would make Disney look bad to continue employing her, and then they stopped employing her. And she got really upset about it, and everybody tried to make it a deal where like she was being, you know, persecuted. I wonder why advertisers might want to bail. The use of the N-word on Twitter jumped by almost 500% after Elon Musk's takeover as trolls test limits on free speech. Jesus Christ. Got our first W against Disney? We'll link it. I don't keep up. Listen. Disney buying Star Wars. I watched the first of the sequel series or trilogy. I can't remember which one its name was. The Force Awakens? Or is that one of the later ones? I watched The Force Awakens like in theaters, and I watched Rogue One in theaters, and I thought that they were both so unbelievably disappointing. I couldn't bring myself to watch a single other Disney Star Wars thing at all. All right? So I can't really... Scores a major win, barring an out-of-court settlement. Huh. I don't know what I think about it. Like here's like my true feelings. All right. I understand that like I kind of said this earlier, like this is the way that things are, and this is the way that things are like not the way that things ought to be. I don't know how things ought to be, you know, but like this is the way that things are. If you work at a company, especially a public facing company where you are inextricably tied to that company. You have some sort of brand deal, or you are working on a TV show or something along those lines. Um, you have to be squeaky clean, okay? If you're going to try and ride the line, you got to be really careful about what line you ride so that you don't cause too much controversy, right? Because that company is not going to want to keep you employed by them if you're making the company look bad for employing you, right? So like if someone worked for, let's say someone worked for NPR, right? And they were a news anchor and they just did like, the evening news, blah, blah, blah. But then on their Twitter, they were posting swastikas and videos of themselves Sieg Heiling and saying, listen, I give the news, but that's the cuck news. And I'm actually part of the neo-Nazi of America, whatever right? Should that person be fired? I don't know. I don't know what it ought to be like. But the way that it is I totally understand from the company's standpoint why they don't want to have that person on their payroll. Because if they keep them on their payroll, then everyone's going to be mad at them because there's an avowed neo-Nazi Sieg Heiling on the internet, right? For Carano, hers was obviously less egregious than Sieg Heiling and saying, bad things like that. But she did not just compare herself, but said she had it worse off than the Jews in the Holocaust, with pictures of the Holocaust, saying that the way that anti-vaxxers are being treated in the US is worse than that. And that's after multiple other PR situations that they had to get out of. She compared Republicans to Jews in Germany during World War II and then changed her pronouns to beep boop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously, the chick from Acolyte, I don't know. Listen, I'm a really bad pop culture person. Yeah, I mean, nothing Gina said was virtue signaling. Yeah, but she was saying that they had it worse off than the Jews in the Holocaust, which is tantamount to the Holocaust denial. Maybe I have like really strong opinions on the Holocaust. I mean, everybody should have strong opinions on the Holocaust. It's a pretty bad thing that happened, but like I know a lot about the Holocaust, and nobody in the United States has it nearly as bad. I don't think, outside of the Native Americans, even slavery wasn't as bad as the Holocaust. It's just like a completely different thing. It was an unspeakable evil that happened, and to compare yourself and say that it wasn't like the Holocaust wasn't as bad as like people getting mad at you for changing your pronouns to beep boop, and people being upset that you won't take a vaccine. Hold on, we're gonna find maybe this all happened, I think, when I was still super lefty, so maybe my opinion will change reading it now. Oh, when was this? February. Yeah, I was still super lefty. Can we not see it? Where's the tweet? Off. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, it was Instagram. Open image and new tab so we can zoom in. Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop saying, but this is... She's right. You're so wrong. Like, that's you want to say, like, lefties have a victim complex. That is the biggest victim complex in the entire world. It's pointing out that history repeats itself. It's not, there's no comparison. There's no comparison to what happened in Nazi Germany to what is happening to conservatives in 2021 over the vaccine shit, over the masking shit, over anything. There's no comparison whatsoever. Republicans and conservatives and MAGA people consist of like 50% of the United States. There's no comparison. Jews were hated around the entire world. I mean, they still are, but Jews were hated around the entire world, including in Germany, and they just like tapped into that. But Republicans had power not that long ago for 4 years. 2 of those years, they had both the Senate and the House. This is my channel. I talk about politics. I am a political science student working towards getting my degree. I am working on becoming a more compassionate person. I did a good job of that for a while, and then I lost it. And I'm trying to find the compassion again. Okay, because I love all people, but right now it's becoming hard. All right. I used to live in Texas. I just moved across the entire country. So this is my only source of income. So if you guys want to help a brother out by using, I don't know, like the Prime Subarino, all right, I would really appreciate that, especially since this is the last day of July. If you guys want to help me out and help a brother out who is unemployed, looking for work in a state that he's never even been in, hook a brother up. Use that donation link. Use that sub button. Let's go. Left the promised land for hobo land number 2.